The Zeldar Academy of Survival was the most infamous training facility in the galaxy. For over 4 centuries, it had prepared the elite soldiers of countless species, testing them in brutal simulations that mimicked the most hostile worlds known to exist. Graduating from the Academy's 100-year survival course was considered a near-mythical achievement. The name was not poetic exaggeration. Every test was designed to last the equivalent of a century in compressed time, blending starvation, environmental collapse, and endless hostile encounters. Of the tens of thousands who had attempted it, only 3 beings had ever completed it. That was why the instructors laughed when they saw the latest applicant. A human, Instructor Veklar, a towering insectoid veteran with mandibles like swords, leaned over the observation deck's console. "Send the Deathworlder into Zone 1. Let's see how long it lasts before begging for extraction." The others chuckled. Humans, in their eyes, were reckless primitives, tougher than most species, yes, but this was the 100-year. The course had killed apex predators from worlds far harsher than Earth. Below them, the human candidate adjusted her pack straps. Lieutenant Kara Holt didn't speak much. She simply nodded when told the rules. Survive until the system declares you dead or victorious. When the gates opened, the instructors started the timer. The first phase, Year 1 to Year 20, was supposed to be the warm-up. Acid rainstorms, low oxygen air, and constant attacks from spine drac beasts kept most candidates scrambling just to find shelter. Kara built one in less than an hour. Not from the prefab pieces hidden in the terrain. She ignored those entirely, but from scavenged materials, woven into a structure so sturdy that the next morning it was still standing despite hurricane-force winds. By the time she roasted her first drac beast over a fire, the instructors had stopped talking. Phase 2. Years 20 to 50 introduced famine, disease, and psychological strain. Simulated decades of resource collapse broke the will of most survivors. Kara responded by mapping the terrain in her head, locating every water source, medicinal plant, and ambush point. She set traps not just for food but for hostile fauna, turning the predators of the course into her unwitting allies. When a pack of venom wolves tracked her to her shelter, she didn't run. She used the terrain to funnel them into one of her traps, dropping an avalanche of jagged stone onto them. Then she skinned the survivors and made a cloak. By the time she was supposed to be entering Year 50, she was already preparing for the final phase. Phase 3, Years 50 to 100, was war. Artificial intelligence-driven enemy tribes were unleashed, each with military-level tactics, advanced weaponry, and fortified positions. The course's intent was to grind the candidate down over decades of conflict until either exhaustion or death claimed them. The first decade of simulated war ended in one night. Kara struck the largest tribe's stronghold under cover of darkness, moving through their defenses like a ghost. She stole their weapons, disabled their water supply, and vanished before dawn. The second tribe fell to her traps and improvised explosives. The third surrendered without a fight. From the observation deck, Instructor Veklar watched in stunned silence. His subordinates whispered among themselves, but no one dared to speak above a murmur. Time elapsed. Veklar finally asked. The data officer swallowed hard. 24 standard hours, Instructor. Veklar turned to him slowly. What? She completed the 100-year course in a single planetary day. When Kara emerged from the gate, she looked bored. Her clothing was patched with alien hides, her pack stuffed with weapons, tools, and preserved food. She handed the course token to Veklar without ceremony. "Where's the next one?" she asked. "There is no next one," Veklar said, his voice lower than usual. "You have completed what no one else has even dreamed possible." Kara tilted her head. "Really? That was it? I thought you said this was a challenge." Her words spread through the academy like wildfire. Within hours, the Zeldar Council convened to review what had happened. The conclusion was unanimous and unsettling. It wasn't that the 100-year course had been too easy. It was that humanity had no real limit when it came to adapting, enduring, and winning. Weeks later, rumors reached the galactic militaries. A single human had accomplished in one day what had broken every other species for centuries. Some dismissed it as propaganda. Others took it as a warning. The humans didn't just survive hostile environments. They thrived in them. And the galaxy was slowly realizing that when it came to Deathworlders, Earth was the worst one of all.